Hi, I'm Audrey. I'm Jake's previous dog owner. I'm making this video in order to let you know of the signs that I had developed with Jake. I made a little list, so I guess I'll go off of that for you. I've heard that you already have started out with lay. When you do any type of sign for Jake, make sure he sees you first. Something about deaf dogs that a lot of people don't really acknowledge is to always wake up a deaf dog, and I'm bringing this up because I'm thinking of it now, and so always wake up a deaf dog in a positive way. So if you just put your hands on him and wake him up, he will get startled. But if you wake him up by petting him and smiling and showing him, oh, look, you're awake, he'll react better. So with that being said, if he's not facing you, or if he's looking down or over there, find a way to move toward him and put your hands in front of him to show him that you want a sign for him. You don't have to go like this with your hands, just show one hand and whatever sign you want, and just do it until he catches on that you're trying to communicate with him. So lay down, and I heard that you've caught on to potty. You can do it this way or that way, it doesn't really matter, but as long as you have your hand in this sort of position and you just shake it. Another one that is really important with him is that he doesn't really necessarily need treats. His favorite thing is when you just shake his head. So if you just put your hand on, shake, 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 and he'll just eat that up. That's how I used to tell him, good boy. And you don't forget to talk to him. Although he's deaf, he gets it. So when you say good boy, like, make sure you're like, yay, and you're like still talking, because they feel that energy and there are vibrations in the air, and they do feel those. There, this, and that is just pointing. Something that Jake's really good at is jumping on top of higher platforms. If you look at him and go, yeah, yeah, and then right here, he'll jump up on that, and you can pat his head, say good boy, and he'll enjoy that. Or if you just want him to come by you, you can just point to the ground next to you, or if you want him to go somewhere, you point away from you. He gets pointing, and that's really awesome because there's not too many signs you have to develop. It's just one finger pointing thing for showing him direction. For stay, which is just a normal thing. I mean, people who go with stop signs do it, just stay. If you tell him to lay down, and if he's ready to get back up, you tell him stay. And he gets back down, and he's, I gotcha. No is just, like teachers, no, don't do that. I would tap his nose, not hard or anything, but in order for him to see you and that you're pointing this little tiny finger in his face, it might be good to just tap and then go no. Just so he can understand, like, oh, I'm not doing the right thing, and then you can tell him to lay down right after that so he, withdraws from whatever he's doing. For cuddle, I like to go like this with my hands, so if I see him running around and I want him to come to me, if he sees me and I'm excited, then I will do something like, come on, like super excited, like you're grabbing something. He'll catch on to that. So, oh, you want my head in your hands, you want me to cuddle with you. Apologies for my mom's dogs. And so you can have that communication with him. And it's really awesome. If you're if you're sitting on the ground and your legs are spread out, and if you do that too, he'll come and crawl, or you can tap your legs like this. He'll come crawl into a ball in your legs, and you can just cuddle with him. He loves cuddles. So I kind of consider that the cuddle hand motion, like, oh, I want to give you affection, and he'll be like, ah, yeah. Calm down. If you ever go in public, Jake is very nervous, just generally as a dog, and other dogs don't really communicate with him very well because he's deaf, and I think other dogs sense that. So he'll get nervous, and he won't really know what to do, and if he starts to like bark or get just into his own little anxiety, I suggest trying to tell him to lay down. If he doesn't lay down, gently put him into laying position until he's on his stomach. Not his stomach, on his back or like his side, and just rub him and show him, like, you can be vulnerable right now. It's all right. And you are getting trained by a professional on how to work with deaf dogs. But me having Jake as his first owner, he'll understand what you're doing if you do this with him, that you just want him to relax for a second. And it'll take him a while, because like I said, he does have anxiety. But if you just do this with him, he'll definitely find a way to air out, just calm down. Another one that I think is important to mention is his ball. So I'm going to use my candle since I don't have any more dog balls. I gave them all to you. When you want to throw the ball for him for fetch, I think a lot of people don't really think about the fact that he is deaf and that he's always watching the ball, and he is pretty attentive to the ball. But if he's not watching and you just get the ball out, make sure you put it in his face like this, like I'm doing myself, like, oh, look, and he'll follow it. And when you want him to really follow it and you know that you're about to throw it, go like this, back and forth, and then and throw it for him. He'll go for it. He'll bring it back to you. When he brings it back to you, put your hand out like this. He'll put it in your hand or right below your hand on the floor. I tried to start to get him to put it on the floor so I could use that chuck it stick instead of having him putting it in my hand, because it was getting really dirty. But it's up to you how you want to go about that. But please do remember, he is deaf, and throwing the ball too high, he doesn't see it, or he doesn't really sense that as much as he would if you just kind of do like a medium, like kind of more leveled out throw. He's been getting better, but as long as he can, I would try and throw it over him like high up, and he would just stare at me like, where is it? And so just so you know, and probably for the trainer as well, make sure he sees what's going on with the ball, because and I think there's something wrong with his equilibrium of that effect, because he needs that constant, oh, there it is, here it is, okay, there it goes, and it usually bounces on the floor when I throw it, if that helps at all. And you can throw it far. He'll run for days. He's a herding dog. Look at me. I think it's really important for a dog to have this respect for you and a respect for them, and dogs do make eye contact with us, and especially deaf dogs. So say he's just not paying attention, or you want him to see the ball and he's not really going for it or anything like that, just do the look at me thing. You go down to his eyes, and then you go like this to your eyes, and you really look at him like, look at me, look what's going on, and he'll catch on. And then you can like put the ball in front of your face, or if you want him to do a sign, you just put it in front of his face, just so you're like gaining his attention again, because he can be a little in his own little world, which is any dog. I mean, they're happy little beasts. It's awesome. So this is all I've really been able to come up with right now. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me. I would be happy to let you know of any other signs that I know at this point. I did email you about the bathtub thing. He does great with bathtubs, also outside with the hose. So you'll have a good time with him. You can just tell him to lay down when you put the soap on him, and then when you want him to get up, you just pull him up and just wash those under parts, and he's pretty easygoing. So I hope that this was informative enough for you, and that I have been a good help. Like I said, any questions, please feel free to email me, and thank you so much for adopting who I think is one of the best dogs.